beep, beep, beep. Welcome to the court of the Edijester. Crickets! Let's talk about crickets, right? A revolting bunch of nutters. If you read all the stuff online, they're certainly nutters. Released crickets into the LGBT Alliance conference. Looked to me like everybody was having a fabulous time. There was a great speech going on there. James Lindsay. Oh, God. Why have I got James Lindsay on my head? That's because I was reading something this morning. James Dreyfus gave a fantastic speech. Bev, Malcolm, everybody there, all quite happily enjoying themselves until lunchtime, when nefarious doings took place. And this bunch of lunatics came in and threw crickets everywhere. Apparently there were 6,000 of them, if you believe their rhetoric. No, I don't believe their rhetoric. I'd like to know how many there were, though. Poor little things. They were obviously to feed, lizards and things, aren't they? But they didn't. That cost a pretty packet, by the way. If there were that many, that cost a pretty packet. I doubt very much these trust fund kids paid for it, did they? What's the thinking they support Palestine as well? I bet they're pro everything. Just a bunch of nutters with a load of insects. How low will these people stoop? And when will the police do something? They won't do anything. We think they will, but they won't. They won't. Causing fear, disgust, revulsion. I think that was an act of terror. But then, that's up for other people to decide, not me. It's ridiculous to think that they got in. That's the first thing. But also, it didn't bother the conference much at all. They just moved to another room and got on with it, which is great news. But I saw some people saying horrible things about crickets, and I won't have it. This is the brown cricket, or the house cricket. Okay, let's have a look at one. There you are. See how nice that is? Pretty little thing. Pretty little cricket. Right, so I thought we'd learn a little bit about crickets. Here we go. If you don't want to know about crickets, go somewhere else. Come be a warrior teacher. Join me in November. Crickets. Okay. Brown crickets, as it says here on the screen, scientifically known as a Chetta domestica, are a species of cricket renowned for their role in both ecological systems and human culture. Here's an in-depth look at these fascinating creatures. They are insects belonging to the family Grillidae. They are characterized by their brown bodies, which can vary in shade, and their long antennae. Adult males produce a chirping sound by rubbing their forewings together, a process known as stridulation. This chirping is not just for mating calls, but also serves as a form of communication and territory marking. There you go. See? Interesting. Some people think they're scary. I personally don't. Okay? They originally native to parts of Europe. Brown crickets have been distributed worldwide due to their use in pet food and bait for fishing. They thrive in warm, humid environments. Oh, they'd get on all right in a trans bedroom then, wouldn't they? And are often found in fields, under logs, or near human habitations, where they can find shelter and food. In natural settings, they contribute to the ecosystem by serving as both predator and prey. Useful, see? Unlike the idiots that put them there. Brown crickets are omnivores, feeding on a variety of organic materials. Their diet includes decaying plant material, smaller insects, and sometimes even smaller crickets. In captivity, they are typically fed with grains, vegetables, and commercial cricket food. Their digestive system efficiently converts these foods into proteins, making them a significant part of the food chain. They have 4 stages in their life cycle: egg, nymph, and adult. After mating, female lay their eggs in soil or other moist substrates. These eggs hatch into nymphs, which resemble adults but lack wings. Right? There are a series of molts. Nymphs grow and eventually develop into adults. The entire life cycle from egg to adult can take around 6 to 8 weeks under optimal conditions, but this can vary with temperature and diet. It's a shame that we can't get trans to adult to take around 6 to 8 weeks, isn't it, really? That says 4 stages. That's 3, surely. Egg, nymph, and adult. That's right, it is 3. Cultural and economic significance. Well, pet food. Brown crickets are a staple in that fishing bait. And also human consumption. We'll look at that a bit more in a minute. In some cultures, crickets are considered a delicacy. I've eaten crickets. Deep fried crickets, they're lovely. People like to go, oh, there's bugs in your flour. Get used to it. And besides which, there are huge amount of protein in crickets. Yeah, I know. High in protein, sustainable vitamins, minerals. Cricket flour made from ground crickets is used in various food products, from snacks to protein bars. There's probably dozens of you out there eating them without knowing you do it. They're used in biological and ecological studies, particularly in genetics, due to their ease of breeding and short generation times. So that allows geneticists to use them to find out interesting things, rather like the fruit fly. You always use the fruit fly for the genetics. Farming crickets requires significantly less land and water compared to conventional livestock, and so on. Then we've got a bit about food. They're packed with nutrients. They contain high levels of protein, comparable to or even exceeding that found in traditional meats like beef or chicken. 100 grams of crickets can offer around 60-70% protein by weight, along with essential amino acids. They are also rich in vitamins like B12, essential for nerve function, and minerals such as iron, calcium, and zinc. Additionally, crickets have a favourable lipid profile with healthy fats, including omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids, which are beneficial for. Are you still listening? For cardiovascular. So, let's have nothing said against the crickets. But then, when you do this sort of thing, chuck crickets all over the place at a conference for gay people and lesbian people, bisexuals get together to talk about things that bother them, then you're just a bloody homophobe, frankly. How long do you think it is that gay men are going to put up with this bloody nonsense? Because there's loads of them sitting out there going, well, I'm not really happy about it, but I can't say anything. I don't want to say anything in case I get socially ostracized. They're all a bunch of bloody cowards. They should speak up while they can. Anyway, go and think on. You think on, Minnie Coldwell. Crickets, right? Food, environment. These are good things, crickets. And yesterday, they had to hoover up a bunch of them. It's a bit sad. I'm not asking for a cricket memorial, but it is a bit sad. And now we'll find out whether or not any action will be taken against these people, and whether any action will be taken about the men that are no doubt hiding in the background. All right? So you go and have a great day. I've got a flu jab today. I'm going to be miserable later. And I've got to teach warrior teachers. Thankfully, it's a group of very accepting people. So if I'm slightly miserable, they'll forgive me. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.